Yeah, this man is crazy, y'all. He is crazy. You know, crazy with a capital CCRAZY. And everybody else is sitting here acting that he ain't guilty. He is about as guilty as he want to be. And all he doing is proving this prosecution's case. That's all he doing. Now, Jane, my girl Jane, she's a bit much. You hear me? She's a bit much. But I mean, I'm sorry. I made the video. I still stand by what I say. I don't see her as a victim, far as the case that the feds have. She's a victim. She's a victim of DB. She's a victim of being naive and stupid for a man. She is a victim of a lot of things. She's a victim of her circumstances because she want that money. She don't want it to deplete and she want to keep what she got so she can keep what she has. She's a victim, but she ain't no victim like Cassie was a victim. She's not. So y'all need to get off of that. We can't squeeze everybody in here. He's a monster. He's foul as crap. He did all this stuff to these women. He needs to be in jail. In my opinion, he needs to be under the goddamn jail. You hear me? But he did not. It was not the same type of situation as Cassie when it comes to Jane Doe, aka 50 Cent baby mama, aka whoever else y'all want to say she is. But it was not that for her. I'm sorry. I do not like the man. I can't stand what he did to all these women, but it definitely was not what everybody's trying to make it seem like it was when it comes to Jane Doe. Jane Doe is a mess. I'm not calling her a liar because a liar do not see. She is not a liar to me. Okay. I believe she is telling the truth. Mark my word on this. This woman is telling the truth on what she's saying. But it is the narrative of what she's saying that makes me believe she is not a victim. Not what Kanye and them are trying to do to her, but what she is saying that shows me that she is not a victim. So we can't go not a victim of these federal charges. She is not a victim of these federal charges. We can't just go lump summing everybody up in there, saying that this man did she was a victim to this whole case. Y'all can't lump sum that up in here. She is a victim. Let's get that correct. She is a victim. Hey, how you doing, Clarissa? Thank you so much. She is a victim, but she is not a victim of this case right here. Now, do he need to pay some time? Do he need to pay this woman for what she gonna been through? Of course he does. I agree. She needs to be paid for the things she did because that little bit of $10,000 he gave, girl, he pimped you out like a $5. Okay, them 10,000 was just those 10,000. He pimped you out. That's all he did. But far as being a victim, far as her being a victim of this trial, absolutely not. She probably is. I'm telling y'all, watch my last live. That woman is helping the defense. The only reason she talking for the prosecution team is because either she talk or she do some time. God darn herself for the acts that she was doing. So of course she's gonna talk. Of course she's gonna get up there and not tell a lie. But let's not flip this and make this seem like it's something that it isn't. That woman is not a victim of what is going on here with this case. You hear me? Hold on real quick, y'all. Right. And I agree with what Tisa Taylor is saying, 'cause I do watch her as well. I absolutely agree with what she is saying. He is trying to use Kanye as his moral support. He's trying to sway the of public opinion, trying to get people on Diddy's side because baby, he ain't got nobody on his side. Y'all hear me? Absolutely nobody. Hey, simply, how are you doing? Thank you for joining me on this live, girl. Oh, I'm doing good, Clarissa. I'm doing wonderful. I had to drop a couple of videos here because I had got behind. I explained that yesterday on my live, what happened with that. That is good. That's good, simply. But I wanted to jump on this slide to try to get everybody's opinion on what they're thinking. How do y'all feel about that clip, that intro that 50 Cent made about his baby mama? She can go ahead and drop the Jane. Look here, I'm with this. I'm 100% with, if you are a true victim of domestic violence, as far as sex trafficking and stuff like that, okay, keep your identity a secret. But if you are not a victim, and she is not portraying herself like a victim on this stand, she is still portraying herself like somebody who is dead in love with it, this absolute love with this man. She is. She loved this man. She loved the dirty draws this man put on. Okay. She loves this man. The only reason this woman is talking is because the feds are making her talk. That's it. That is it. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get the narrative right. The reason why she is talking is because she herself don't want to go to jail. Don't you know, if you do not turn for the state, then you going down like you was included with this. Because make no bones about it, what she was doing was illegal. Prostitution ain't legal in America. I don't care what you disguise it as, it is not legal. And baby, you around here sleeping with all these goddamn men, you were prostituting yourself out for your man. Point blank, period. Right. A waste of everybody's time simply having her there. Now, the only thing I will say about her being there is baby girl got receipts. She has receipts. That's why I say I don't think she's lying. I think she's telling the absolute truth, but she's telling the truth because she's forced to tell the truth. It's not because she wants to tell the truth. She's forced to tell the truth in order to stay her behind out of prison, her goddamn self, because of her participation that she has had in this. And she's a woman sport. She's jealous because he was showing his attention to Young Miami and other people that he was not giving to her. That's all that was. And then he paying her, he paying them more than what he paying her. I mean, let's do math. What, 10,000 a month is $120,000 a year. But you testify all he ever gave you was 150 over 3 years, girl. He pimped you out. You hear me? He pimped you out. That's all he did. Hey, my snookums, how you doing today? I love you and miss you. Ah, thank you, Bradley. I'm doing okay. Do you think they ran out of people to come forth for it, and that's why they're dragging out her stand? Absolutely not. I think they don't make their case. I really think they make their case. Now they're gonna call a couple of more people because she outed in her testimony more people that was orchestrating this whole thing, and so they're gonna make them people talk because they want to hear what they out of absolutely anything. Hey, clones, how you doing? I hope everything is all well and good, Trey. I hope you are blessed. I hope the family's blessed. And we all miss you over here. Yes, we do. I know I do. Yeah, so I don't think they are running out of people to talk to or stuff to do. What it is that girl got a lot. You got to think. Jane was with him up until the day he got arrested. She was his side piece slash main piece slash whatever he wanted to be with her piece. She was his piece, so to speak. She was the one that was enduring everything for him right up to the time that he got arrested. So this woman knows a lot of stuff. She got a lot of details. She got a lot of mess on him. And I honestly do not feel that she wanted to come forth and say absolutely nothing to these people. She would have took this mess to her grave, you hear me? And wouldn't have told absolutely nobody. One, the man is paying her $10,000 rent. He is also paying for her attorney fees. Now, what do you know? Well, we testify against somebody, trying to put them down, for life, and that very person is paying our attorney fees. Where that happened at? Absolutely nowhere. Absolutely, absolutely. So that right there, when I heard that part, it told it all. It told everything. It told the whole setup and what's going on. She is being forced, and I do mean forced. That's why I got the cocky attitude on the stand. That's why when they address her, she only talking about her expensive stuff. That chick is all about her money and what she can get and what she can keep. She's going to make sure she gets something decent up out of here because the only thing she getting out of her daddy is $4,500. He ain't gonna pay her no dang on $10,000. In fact, he the one around here dragging her over the internet. How is that even allowed? Is that conflict of interest? No, because one, they are not married. It would be a conflict of interest because he can claim, because that's his wife. If she was his wife, he could have claimed the thing where I'm not going to testify against my husband because it's like I'm testifying against myself, because even though we're two people, we're considered one in the eyes of the law. So that is not a conflict of interest. That is well played on his part, Very well played on his part. And what I'm thinking with him was once that tape, because remember, she was with him when the tape came out. She can't lie. She cannot lie on that stand. The woman does not want to be there, but she can't lie. So she's forced to tell the truth because the moment she tells a lie, she now faces jail time plus everything else, perjury and other charges on top of that on what she did. So she can't lie. She cannot lie on that stand. She has to tell the truth, right? So I do believe what she's saying. I don't think she's fabricating it up at all. They'll play on Diddy part. Diddy kept her in his back pocket because he know how strung out this woman is over him. Okay, so he know that she loves him. It ain't no doubt in his mind that Jane is for Diddy. Diddy knows that he got her. He knows he have her. But the fact she's crying because now it's embarrassing. This was a woman that was going to take this to her grave. She wasn't going to say nothing to nobody. She's forced now to tell it to the world. Okay, so she's embarrassed. That's why she didn't want nobody to know who she was. But in a day and age that we are in now, well, everybody information is all over the internet. Shoot, I was finding people back in my day, back in the 90s and 2000s before we had all this. People used to come to me and ask me, who is this person? All I needed was a little bit of information to dig up who you are. In a world that we are in now, where everything is so public and out there and people can hack into stuff, it's just so easy for people to find out who you are. So there was no way, and that goes to show you her mentality. That goes to show you what she don't know. Baby just got a nice little body, and she in the in crowd with a lot of in celebrities and all that other stuff. That's all. That girl don't know no better. Okay, she don't know no better. She don't know no better at all. So what she's trying to do is keep her status quo. Baby, if this thing hadn't blown up the way it was, she would have been by that man's side. She would have been his concubine up in the prison. They would have got married while and probably still will be his wife up in prison because she loves that man. Clearly, 50 Cent don't care, give a guy right behind about it because he's dragging her through the mud. This is your baby's mom, and you are dragging her. You are putting her out. He 50 really the one who putting her out there. Okay. I know. That YouTuber had exposed her because I was on his live when he was doing it, when he was piecing everything together. And as he was piecing it, I'm saying, look, all you gotta do is check that. You gotta do because he had it. He was on it. You hear me? And he pulled it up. And while we was on that live, 50 Cent had sent him a message to let him know that he was on the up and up. He had it right. So that man ain't lying. Let's see. How is it that even on? Okay. Hey, Budget Bliss Journey. Hey, Latanya. Hey, the Clones Crew. I've been trying to follow it. There's so much going on and to catch up on y'all. I'm trying to keep y'all posted on it. I had to take a break for a couple of days because I was putting up my website for Tamara's Divine Creation. So y'all go, I got my own domain and everything. Y'all go check it out, Tamara, divinecreations.com. Also, I was working on that. It took me like a whole freaking day and a half to do it. So I kind of got behind on the updates, but y'all know I'm here for y'all. I'll follow this thing from beginning to the end. You hear me? I'm giving y'all all the details. Matter of fact, I was one of the few YouTubers that actually put out when they had filed for that second mistrial attempt. But I don't have a lot of people following me, so of course everybody else got more recognition. But baby, I was on it. You hear me? So I am bringing y'all the tea just as fast as it come out. I'm getting it to you. You hear me? And I'm watching it. And the thing is, because nobody is allowed in here, and they're not even allowed their cell phone, so they're having to take a lot of short notes, or either they're having to get the transcripts. But even with the transcripts, you have to piece together all that stuff to see what's actually happening. So, and I know this. So what I'm doing is I'm watching multiple people all day long, getting a story, combining it to together, and giving it to you as fast as I can give it to you with my edit, girl, y'all, with my editing skills. Y'all know my editing skills need some work. You hear me? But I am getting it to y'all as fast as I can, as well as there's some other stuff that I want to talk about because that plane crash, y'all know a plane crash that went down in India as well, y'all. There was one survivor, and he gave his account of what actually happened. He thought he wasn't gonna survive. I mean, he gave you the insights on that mug. And y'all know how I feel. The ones that know me, y'all know how I feel about it. I got my behind on that one time, but I don't think I'm getting back on there. Because personally, I think somebody is on not somebody. I think something is in that air that is causing these planes to fall down like that because it's happened too much. We went years upon years of planes flying in this air and rarely having any crashes. And now we having crashes every goddamn week, every so many days. It's something in that air that is probably interfering with their communication and knocking these planes out of the sky left and right. So it's something there. It's something we can't see that is in that atmosphere because that man said when it literally went down after takeoff, he said it was as if when they went up into the air, the plane got stuck in the middle of the air and then just went down like something. It was like something stopped them in the middle of the air and it just went straight down. So that tells me there is something up there. I don't know what it is. I believe in aliens and all that, but it's something up there that is stopping them from flying. Oh my goodness! Wow, that is crazy. I'm concerned about YouTubers doctoring information. We right. It's out there. Like if once you find out who a person is, baby, you can do so much. Like I said, back in the day, back in the 2000s and the 90s and the 2000s, baby, I was the one who to come to in my city. People knew I knew how to get in contact with people. I knew how to find this person and that person. And baby, I was looking at everybody up. Here you go. Here go the information. This is how much they're worth. This is what how much the house is. This is what they got in their account. And I learned that from when I went to school. Okay. And I only did it for people I was trying to help as far as their cases and stuff like that. But with everything that is going on, with our internet and all the information that's out there, it's sad because yeah, all it takes is a little bit. All it takes is even like trying to find locations. You can go on the world map, as far as GPS, and literally gear down and in on somebody. That's why a lot of people don't like those. Those God darn, I can't even think of the name now. Those drones and stuff. That's why a lot of people don't like it because those things. Anybody can have cameras, as we've seen. Our boy, he had one. I'm sure he wasn't doing none of that, but they use them things to gather up information on people. And so, really, ain't nobody really safe around here. Look at what happened to the YouTuber that got killed, that got off. Right? They was having issues because they were going back and forth with each other on YouTube. They got into a YouTube drama. Everybody loves drama here on YouTube. I made a thing about YouTube drama. He had this man because they were both in the same city, and he gunned him down in front of his wife, then turned around and gunned down the wife. Took out both of them about some YouTube crap. So you don't know anybody's state of mind. No. That's so sad with that plane crash. A picture with the mom, dad, and their kids. Girl, I thought that is sad. I honestly thought that when they showing them pictures, I thought I saw a body laying on the ground. But I had to go back, and it still wasn't it clear because you couldn't get a real good clear on view of it. But the way it looked like somebody was like leaning up against part of the plane. It was bad. But girl, that on ignited my feels. Ain't no way this girl is getting on no plane. I'm sorry. I ain't go. And then they talking about money ain't gonna replace nobody, but they talking about they these people $116,868 a piece. I mean, God damn, y'all got it down to the dollar. How much y'all gonna pay somebody? They life is more than any money that you can give them. But apparently, the airline is gonna pay every that died money right off the bat. They ain't even trying to let this go through court. They finna pay them pronto. All they have to do is let them know it was their family member. They prove it. They're paying them, which is beyond crazy. That too lets me know something else is going on. Something else is going on that they're not being honest with American people when it comes to the sky right now. And it's crazy because like literally, I live in an area where planes is. I'm living right now. This is not my home, where planes are flying overhead all the time. And so it gets a little nerve wracking when you hear planes sounding like they descending from the skies. Like, y'all be careful. I would put my foot on nobody plane right now until they can really explain what is going on in the air. It's taking down commercial planes, military planes. We all unseen it. Like, this ain't like it's made up. These planes literally falling out of the freaking sky for no freaking reason whatsoever. Right? But back on Diddy. A lot of people thinking that Trump is going to pardon him. Baby, Trump got problems of his own. You hear me? Elon is getting ready to blow Trump up out of the goddamn waters for all the stuff he know about him. And y'all know the two of them are they are going like this. Trump got too many problems. He got Elon. He got Elon Musk. He have the issue with the immigration, which is bad as crap. You're turning our United States military against your own people, man. He is crazy. They need to impeach him for real before the United States literally fall, before the whole government fall. Like they need to get him up out of that seat. He's not right. He's not right up here in the head. He's just doing stuff impulsively. He's not thinking like a true leader. He is treating people like animals versus treating them like human beings. He needs to be gone. 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 So I honestly do not think he has the time to be worried about P. Diddy and talking about pardons. So I think we're good on note when it comes to P. Diddy and President Trump getting him out of this situation. Baby, Diddy is gone. Diddy is going down. Y'all hear me? Hold on. Man, I got so much because I've been gone. I was gonna say, girl, just get on the line and talk. I got so much to freaking talk about. I gotta catch up. I actually saw that movie Straw, y'all. Oh my god, that was so sad. But I finally called it today. My daughter I had to call her. It was my fault. I was putting in her information wrong. I actually saw the movie. My God, I was parts of it had me like laughing at them fools because they were being stupid and ignorant, but a lot of it did have me in tears toward the end. But baby, they played that Taraji P. She played that part. You hear me? She played the HEW hockey sticks out of that part. And your girl Tiana, yes, she was. I knew. I was like, yeah, I already figure out what was going on with her. But that Tyler Perry movie, I know they say he always talking bad of the black woman, but baby, the black woman be going through a lot. You hear me? We go through a lot, and we still have to manage to get ourselves together, pull off ourselves. Now I see why my daughter wanted to see that movie. It was too relatable to what I had to go through in my life. But except for the whole pack of somebody thinking I was doing something I wasn't doing. No, not on that note, but it literally seems like no matter what the black woman does, everything is against her. And then she don't have a strong black man on her side or a man, period, on her side that will help her. They rather put her down. This generation of men and how they feel about women. I'm sorry if y'all on here. If it ain't you, then don't let a hurt dog holler. If it ain't you, I ain't talking about you. But if it is you, they put women down so bad in this world. And I know, and I'm not trying to make it seem like all women are goody two shoes, but and they do it right because they don't. But a lot of those women turn that way because of how they've been treated by man after man after man. I mean, look how it was happening even in the police force on that movie. Look how it was happening. That's why everybody was relating because they knew how they one how to treat our people in general, and two how they treat women and young. I mean, men our older men in my group, in 50 and above, y'all need to grab y'all sons, teach them the right thing. Y'all need to be the goddamn right things yourselves because there's a lot of us that are in our generation that were messed up, and y'all need to love y'all family, point blank, period. Stand up for your woman, stand there, be by her side, and yeah, you probably gonna have to go through the emotions or whatever the breakdown was in family. It's the breakdown of the family unit. Period. Bravo to Tyler Perry on that movie because he did his thing with that movie. Okay, and if you have not seen it, please go look at it. Um, the story behind it with the family was so sad. Yes, it was. The mom is a doctor and quit her job, packed up their three kids to go live with dad for a better life. The dad was working in another country. Oh, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna definitely look that up simply. Now that you told me about what's going on, I was basically focusing on the side of the survivor. I wanted to hear his story and what he was talking about. I mean, it was a powerful testimony even on that note because that man said he thought he had died, and he said, "I don't know why I'm here, but I thought I was dying." Let me tell you, man, ain't nothing but a good Lord Jesus, His Son, that kept you alive to tell your story, to tell you the inside of what's going on. And that man said it was as if something made them get stuck in the air. Something halted them in the air. And soon as they halted, Down they went. So it was like they was taking off. They hit something. It came to a complete stop in midair and dropped out. That's what happened. So I was more focused on what the survivor was saying more so than anything else because I just my mind was already there that something was in that air stopping them when government plane helicopter went down. The government. We're talking about people who we practice this thing every day, in and out, all day, freaking long. You hear me? When they went down, and then when that jet from the military went down, that's all I needed to see. I knew something was up from that point on. Okay, so when they finally had a survivor, I was geared in onto the survivor. I wanted to hear what survivor account was. What did he see? What did he notice before it went down? And baby, his testimony says it all. It is something in that air that is blocking the transmission to the communication of these planes. It's shutting them down. It's shutting them down. And we all know he had a pilot flying those planes and stuff. But a lot of that is mechanical. A lot of that is computer operated. A lot of the pilots are sitting in the seats at this point. It's all being controlled really by computer. Okay, and which makes me. I'm not saying Elon Musk got absolutely anything to do with this, but what I'm saying is it's crazy that Trump is got on his bad side. You know, the man that makes cars that drive themselves and all this other stuff. The man that's literally building robots to take over everything that the humans are doing. It just makes me wonder. Like the man that's supposed to that help you go bring them people who supposedly got stuck out of space back to the earth. You don't piss off this man, you're crazy. That goes to show you our president. I don't know why y'all fools put him there because I didn't. I didn't. He ain't my president. He's our president. Well, we're just up under his leadership right now. I don't know why y'all put this man in office. Okay? But y'all better start y'all better start looking at everything that's happening. It's not fake, it's not made up. This is life and we're all living it. Open your eyes and see what's really going on. The lone survivor will be a mess. His brother was on that flight too. Yes. Now they did say they think it might. I read something where they said they thought it might be more people, but they might be stuck up under the rubble because they haven't removed all the rubble. But unless they got Jesus with them like he did, they can only survive for so long up under all that stuff compressing up against their bodies, unless, of course, there's something kind of barricading and they're just crunched up into a little small space, and their vital organs and stuff is not being affected because there's absolutely no way. Don't hurry up and stop walking over all this stuff and dig through it to try to find to see if these people are alive. And with every y'all got to think they're walking around this stuff. A lot of people are coming because it happened in a nearby building that was not far from the airport. So there was people that was on the ground that actually got unalive as well. And people are walking around there. You're walking on that debris. You're probably pushing stuff down. If somebody was up under there, y'all crushing them by walking on this stuff. So it's crazy. So I'm watching that real closely. I'm trying to see, what they're releasing on that to get that out to everybody. And like I said, it was just so much that's happening. And y'all, that should be an eye opener all in itself. It's so much happening around the world. It's so much happening right here in the United States every single day, y'all. We have to open up our eyes. We have to start looking at what's really important. You have to be there. Like, you got to be there for each other. I say it all the time: be your brothers and sisters keeper. Keep God first. We all need to be watching each other back. But so many people are just so driven by money, power. The song, money, power, respect, key to life. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Okay. The key to life is taking care of one another, being there for each other. Love is the key to life. That is the key to life. Love everybody and try to help as many people as you can. Money is something that we need to make it through this world, but you should not make it all about money. And anybody that does, eventually you fall. Eventually you falter. Eventually things fall down. If money is your whole thing, that's all you're thinking about. Then, of course, money, power, respect is all there is. But let's get it right. Nobody ain't really respecting you. You still missing that third part. What they want is your money and your power. They can care less about the respect that is due to you if there is no love. Love is the number one thing of all. Love rules all. Love covers a multitude of sin. Love is what we all need, and we need to wake up because it's too much happening in this world on a daily. Too much. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. As far as P. Diddy, he need to go down. He needs to go down. Y'all heard what I said on my video. P. Diddy, you are going down. Down, my brother. And I pray to God. I also watched this thing with Gene Deal when they was talking to him and they was asking him about, all the stuff you saw, why you never saw anything and said anything. And I really do think when that whole Cassidy video came out, that's what changed him. Really what changed his whole perspective on a lot of things, which changed a lot of people's perspective on a lot of things. And I pray to God he stick to what he says and he's gonna be there at that trial, making sure justice is served on that man. But that once again goes to show you the power that he had over people. Here, well, he was a security guard who was a former police officer. So you have to look at the fact where was these people going to go for help for the ones that were true victims, okay, for the ones that were true victims, because I'm gonna stand on this, I stand on what I say. Jane is not a victim of this case, okay, she's not a victim of this case. For 3 years that man didn't lay a hand on her. Jane said it herself, it was beautiful as far as the relationship in her eyes. He was her Ernie, she was his Bernie, and life was great. It wasn't until that video came out about Cassie that he unleashed the beast on her. And that's when, right before that video came out, because matter of fact, testimony was he came to her and asked her, would she be interested in a fantasy? Okay, so that tells you either he knew Cassie was getting ready to after 3 years. You ain't do nothing for 3 years, but you did everything else on everybody else right away. One or two things happened. Either your behind got too old, you couldn't do it no more, or two, you didn't think Jane was going to do, well, three, or two, you didn't think Jane was going to do it because of her age, and you didn't think that she would be willing to do all that stuff. If you or three, you knew this tape was getting ready to surface out. The world was about to find out everything that they knew about you when it came out to Cassie. You knew they was already hot on your behind, so you trying to test that woman to see just how loyal she really is. And so you introduce this. Do you want to have one of your wildest fantasies? She said, yeah, she participated in your foolery and she unleashed the beast that was within him. And whatever he had in him before, it was now back in him again. And he wanted what he wanted. Point blank, period. Because one, the man is 55 years old. He's old, okay? So he ain't freaking off the way he was freaking off back in the day. He ain't doing it. I don't care how good his body might be in shape on the outside, he ain't freaking off the way he was freaking off back then in the day. It's a little different how it worked with men. The older they get, although they can have kids and babies and all that other stuff, up the day they die, they could be 120 still pushing out babies, okay? But it's a little different with that endurance. A woman, as she get older, it gets a little way better for her as she get older. A man, they start to decline, okay? So there was stuff going on with him that, he wasn't like, maybe probably thinking they had it in it. But old Jane brought it back out of him. And she enjoyed it. Here's the thing, y'all. This woman enjoyed it. She liked it. She talked about how it made her feel closer to Diddy. So she was trying to appease him. Why? Because he was one of the wealthiest men she probably knew. I ain't say he was the wealthiest man. She was the wealthiest man that she knew because her daddy was only giving her 4,500 a month for child support. Now, for somebody like me and most of us is watching this video, 4,500 a month is great. If you can't live off 4,500 a month, then you need to go get your job, Jane, and start relying on these people. She also had OnlyFans. Okay, so unlike Cassidy, she wasn't around here prostituting herself on the freak off, aka hotel nights, like she want to call them because she want to seem sophisticated. So instead of calling her a freak, she trying to say hotel. No, babe, you was on the freak off too. So, but she liked it. She liked it. There is a clear difference between what happened with Cassie and what happened with Jane. Jane enjoyed it. Jane wanted to please him. Jane got off on it. In fact, even when P. Diddy wasn't around with Jane, she was indulging in the freak off activity. So much so, he talking about, what you mean you let another man freak off? What you mean you let another man freak off? You don't go to another man freak off. You don't go to another, you starting to piss me off. You don't go to my freak off. Okay, so well, if she going to another man, and which is hilarious to me because man, you don't have this woman with hundreds, not just one or two, but hundreds of men, and you worried about watching somebody watching, not doing, but watching somebody else's freak off, which also tells y'all something. There's multiple freak offs other than his that are happening all around the celebrity world. Let's keep on what's being said and don't just escape over all this stuff. A lot of celebrities are doing these freak offs. A lot of celebrities are indulging in this lifestyle that they are doing. And Jane enjoyed it because that's who she is. Look how she carries herself, look at her demeanor. It's just that she loves this man, okay? Um, she loved him and she accepted him. And did they now, if we want to say, did they have issues? Did they have relationship issues? It probably led into DV? Yes. Now we can say that. Yes, they did that. But she stuck around with that mess instead of getting out of it. Why? Because the money was good. That girl ain't finna give him no $10,000 a month, even though that was like $10 to P. Diddy. What 10,000? The man spent. Let's look at this. He spent $1,500 on food, one dinner. That's one dinner, right? You know, I'm all about adding them numbers up. Let's look at that. $1,500 on one dinner. If he did that every day of the month, that's $45,000 that he spent. What is 10,000 for rent for her to participate in the freak offs? Okay, at one point she was getting a very nice hotel and all this other stuff afterwards, and I mean it wasn't just she was messing with him; she was messing with everybody. That's why it's laughable that he got mad at her for watching the freak offs. To me, that's just laughable, right? But what's $10,000 if you spending $45,000 a month on food? $10,000 ain't nothing. That's like a drop in the bucket, you ask me, right? So it ain't like he hurting with the $10,000. Okay, he done paid ex workers more than that. But you're the one he's dedicating himself to on freak offs for 10,000 a month. Oh, and you think you were special to him? No, you weren't special to him. Other than the fact you was the fool that wanted to do this with him. All right, so then he stopped taking her to the hotels, y'all, and started doing it in a $10,000 house that he was paying for. So you cheat, bro. You cheat. You absolutely cheat because you take it now. You don't took her and put the freak off in her house where her kids stay at. Her kid, hers and 50s. I mean, and all participating with this with people running in and out of your house while they running in and out of you. Like that is just disgusting. Did the mysterious underground tunnels come up? This is allegedly connected to other celebrities' homes. Not yet. And I think this is where the witnesses next week are going to come into play, the one she's calling off. That's why I think her testimony was so important because she's connecting the other people that are involved in these freak offs that I believe, this is my hypothesis, my guess from what I'm seeing, everything, how everything's going. I think that that's going to come up next week. They're probably going to leave it off and really, if they leave it off that way as the underground tunnels, remember Jay-Z video? Oh, we run this town tonight. It was literally in an underground tunnel on that video, y'all. Remember? Okay. If they leave it on that underground tunnel scenario in those three minds, that's gonna seal it right there. So that's what I'm thinking they're doing. They're leading everything up. The way they built one witness off the other, they're leading it to the tunnel. Winkle Dinkle, ironically. They leading it to the tunnel to leave it right there so that tunnel can be deadlocked in those jury's minds. And once they get it, like they're that's why I said, remember I said a few videos back, they're leading him into a point of no return, that narrow tunnel they're leading him to. Well, that was figuratively speaking. Now I think they're going to end it with narrow tunnels or the underground tunnels to keep that picture in those jurors' minds. That's my hypothesis. That's what I think is going to happen with the underground tunnels because everything now is directing towards the parties, the freak offs, everything that was happening. They even got videos so circulating where P Diddy himself say, "Okay, all the kids, y'all up inside this party. It's time to go because we get to turn this party. Y'all don't want to be here. Maybe when y'all get older, this is the place y'all want to put my kids in bed downstairs. But so go ahead and get y'all on out of here." They got that floating out as well. So that's what's really making me believe they're setting this thing up to enter into the underground tunnels. And that's why I think a lot of celebrities are starting to get out of the country. I said on my video, Usher, no, it wasn't Usher, it was Ray J. That was on Nancy Gray thing. And there's another lady. I'm gonna have to go find that video that I was talking about. The lady that did the interview 20 years ago, and she was saying it. She too was talking about the underground tunnels. And I would not be surprised if have this woman on the stand at some point before they close it out. I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't end the witness testimony with this lady here, because on that interview she literally talks about the underground tunnels. She was a worker for it. She was one of the workers that he had hired. But one also exposed the higher up. Exactly, exactly. This is why a lot of celebrities go look. A lot of celebrities done got out of the country. They not here no more. They gone. All right. That's why a lot of people ain't backing him up on this because the ones that were involved, they getting out. But baby, you can go across the country all you want to. They know who you is. The federal government. We're talking about the feds. We ain't talking about local police officers. We're talking about the feds. Okay? They know wherever you are. The feds are connected with the United States government. The government will go grab you and bring you back from wherever you're at. But of course, they're gonna make it make it hard if they're tied into this any kind of way. And I think when the prosecution finally close out their side, baby, we gonna know a lot of more people that has been involved. Because here recently they've been name dropping a lot of people, and they like I keep saying they're trying to hide who these people is. But in this day and age, you just can't do it. All they got to do is start linking stuff up. Like with Kanye West, his girlfriend Bianca, her birthday was in January in LA, and they was over there. All of them was. So people are just finding stuff, putting them in the same area that they were in. That's how they tied it up. The next day, who show up to court? Kanye West. They kick him out because they think it's a publicity stunt and he's trying to get the court of public opinion on his side and trying to sway people. They put him out. But then who shows back up today? Kanye West. So this is showing you the setup is being set up because now everybody else that's involved is getting ready to get called out. And make no bones about this, y'all. It's not just P. Diddy. Everybody thinking it's just P. Diddy because the limelight is on him. They got other stuff going on behind the scenes as well. There are other cases attached to this case that they're not talking about, that they're going after other people. That's why they gave out so much immunity to other people to get their testimony to make it all stick. It's gonna be like a triple down effect. Watch what I say. When he get convicted, that boy gonna sing like a canary. And everybody that they called, everybody that was mentioned, oh, that's why you better keep up with all these celebrity names that they're saying. All these celebrity names, because they don't brought T.D. Jakes into this, they don't brought Steve Harvey, Lori Harvey into this. And matter of fact, they even have where Steve Harvey was talking about baby oil, how he loved baby oil, and how he got to put himself down in baby oil and all that. Bro, you just made yourself look suspect. Okay. So it's a lot of stuff. So pay attention. Write down those names that they're talking about and they're trying to skim over. Okay. Because right now the focus is on P. Diddy. But once they get him, baby, it's a trickle down effect. They finna come for everybody, right? Diddy, I don't believe he was the top. I believe there was somebody over him too. And allegedly, a lot of people saying Clyde Davis and all that other stuff. Are involved in this as well. Um, but they got as high as they can. They're gonna bring everybody else down. Which once they started getting more people and start talking, it's gonna push them back up to the other people that was over P Diddy. Watch what I tell you. Hollywood is not going to be the same after this case is over. It is not. Not at all. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them lawyers ain't tied into this too. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if councilmen are caught up in this. Government officials are caught up in this. Because we already know Obama was up in one of those parties. Not to say Obama was doing what he was doing. Not to say that. But hold on, Jordan. Let me write your email down. Not to say that, but they don't name him. They don't name Megan, I'm trying to say Megan good. Megan husband, Prince Harry. They don't name him inside there. Like it's so many people named that don't being name dropped inside this. Laura London name. They also saying that P Diddy had something to allegedly had something to do with Nipsey Hussle, Nick getting unalive. It's so much stuff that's getting tied back into this man. Remember that old Adi jail testimony? He called a lot of names. Right. It's a lot of people involved. So what's happened? I'm giving y'all a setup. What's happened? What happened is they went up as high as they could. They tried to pull Jay-Z in it, but he got himself out of it because the way they came about Jay-Z was able to get himself out. Because let's remember, Jay-Z and P. Diddy are like this. Right there. They're the two Seans. They're the two Seans. Okay, Sean Combs and Sean Carter. All right, they're the two Seans. Some kind of way, I know they're probably trying to Jay Z back up in this. That just my feeling. I have a strong feeling they're gonna pull him right on back up in here. He skated out by the charge that he kind of got out, but they're gonna bring his behind right on back in. But what happened is they got it as high as they could, right? They're going to get everybody in the organization down, which once they start getting deeper into the organization, it's going to do a triple effect and make it shoot back up like a boomerang. It's going to go just like this. It's going to boomerang back up. And then they're going to be able to attack the higher people over P. Diddy, over allegedly Jay-Z. They're going to be able to get all of them. That's why I said Hollywood will not be the same. People that we thought we love. That's why people need to stop putting so much emphasis on celebrities and making them seem like mini gods because they're not. Okay. It's not going to be the way y'all think it's going to be. A lot of people are involved in this. Uh, okay, Jordan, I will. I got your email. I wrote it down. And yeah, and the thing about that Audi guy, he tried to tell everything that he knew, but because they thought he was just saying stuff because of what he did to Trump. Once again, even it to me personally, it even sounds like Trump might be tied into because too much stuff been going on in a lot of his buildings. He might probably knew what was going on. And I'm saying allegedly, maybe I'm just giving my opinion on it. But a lot of his name keep coming up in this trial a lot. You hear me? But they're saying because of what happened when he went up and shot up that Trump place, hotel and stuff like that, he was just trying to divert them off by what he was saying. But in fact, he was actually telling the truth. A lot of people who came out to try. Remember Allie Carter? She too was involved in this. That girl has been trying to tell her story. People been calling her crazy. People been calling her a liar. Allie Carter was correct. She was right. But because everybody loves somebody, we know how it is on YouTube. How it happens on YouTube. You say something about somebody that everybody love. Now all of a sudden you liar, you ain't this, you ain't S. Same way out in celebrity world. Okay, that's just how it is. When somebody say something that the majority don't want to hear, they're gonna discredit and they discredit that girl. And she was absolutely, positively, 100% correct. Everybody that around here downed that girl, that picked on her, made her seem like she was a liar, owe that woman an apology. Wherever she is, y'all all owe her an apology. Right? She was telling the truth. but because people didn't want to believe it, a lot of stuff was happening in our faces, you know. But because people were turning blind eyes to what was going on because of power and money, definitely what because of respect. A lot of stuff has been allowed to go on for years. Let's look at Kelly. Hell, look what he did for all these years, you know. And I mean, he put it in his song, so we all knew what he was doing, but yet he still was able to get away with what he was getting made away with. No difference from P Diddy. People loved him because of his money. That's it. People love him because of his money, and because of his money, y'all allowed this evil behind person to get away with a lot that he got away with. Because you take away that money, that Ninja Turtle wouldn't be doing all this to all these people. Because one, he ain't. From what I whatever heard about him before his money, he didn't even have swag like that. He had a hard time getting women, so he wasn't gonna be able to do this. Y'all all did this because of what ONEY. That's it. Y'all allowed this man to do this stuff to y'all because of money. That's it. Um, but aren't those same people running things there? You think they will let that info get? Girl, it is out. It is out. You hear me? It is out. Now, what they doing? That's why I said he did is going down because he's the sacrificial lamb. Because they trying to they trying to get him out. I'm gonna give y'all one so we can stay out of the limelight. But if the feds do their job, if the feds do it the right way, baby, they all going down. You hear me? Every last one of them. Watch what I say. This is the trial of the century. This we are witnessing history being made. The way the way Hollywood entertainment and all that is going to happen from here on out is getting ready to change. A lot of this stuff that was allowed to happen has been in the industry for over 30 something years. This is how the industry has been set up. And just because me and you and regular people without money was not in the world, we couldn't see it. All we saw was the entertainment, the music that they was putting out, the public beats that they were doing. We didn't know all the details the way we know it now. But now that this is out, and now people are being exposed the way they're being exposed, and now you can piece together stuff that you knew from the past, and people coming up with receipts, videos, and all this other stuff. And El Dumbo kept and recorded everything. That's what made 50 Cent video when he was trolling Diddy so funny because the idiot recorded and kept everything. This man is a psychopath. He basically told on himself through the videos that you recorded, sir. They told their story, but you sealed the deal by recording everything and and keeping record of everything. Let's not forget the people boxes, y'all. Remember when he got arrested, he called his oldest son and told him to get rid of all the pizza boxes. What was inside the pizza boxes? It's so much stuff that because they're trying to build this case up, that has not been addressed. That will be addressed before the prosecution closed their case because they best to believe it's more people they already got ready to go down with this. Oh yeah, and jury number. Let's go ahead and talk about. I just look, jury number six. They did address about jury number six and what was going on with him. It wasn't immigration papers or anything. It was a conflict on a question that he answered when they were trying to rule the jurors and they was trying to see who they was going to keep and who they wasn't. Well, it was the way he responded on a question, and he was talking unbeknownst to him to one of the juror reviewers, the people that review over the questions and the jury selection. He was talking to one of them, not realizing that they were this committee. And based off of the answer he wrote versus what he told that juror was too different. And if they would have seen that, they wouldn't have even had him on the jury because it would have mean that he wasn't being he had a bias that he had a preference from one side to the next. And that's one thing when it comes to jury selection, they try to rule out um as many people that they can and they feel that will persuade one way versus the other versus just looking at the facts. And so when it came out that actually happened, they notified both the attorneys, both the defense and the prosecution, on what they found along with the judge. So everybody knew what was going on with jury number six. Mind you, jury number six didn't know any of this. He doesn't know because unless he's going against what they told them to do by not looking at the news and stuff when they go home. Because unlike most juries, this particular jury get to go home. They're not locked in a room. They're not being watched 24/7 after court. They're just giving strict instructions. Don't listen to the news. Don't read about anything in order to stay neutral with this situation. So if this jury, like everybody else, is doing what they're supposed to do, which I find that a little strange with a high profile case like this, those jurors should have been in a hotel being watched to make sure that they weren't looking at any of this stuff. But we're in a different time, so um if he's not looking, then he doesn't know that they are already in communication with each other, and they're aware of what's going on. So today after lunch, they're supposed to pull the jury into the court alone, into the chambers with the judge and the two attorneys, and they're going to re-question him on the conflict that they have from what he said from one statement to the next, what he told the employee that was over the reviewing of the jurors. If they found out that he grossly lied, or he covered up something just so he can be on the jury, then they're kicking him out and they're replacing him with somebody else. Because what he did, they didn't say whether he favored Diddy or he didn't, but by the defense, the way the defense is acting, is as if he favors more for Diddy than he does the prosecution. So they need to get him out of there, because if that happened, then you can influence or you can hang up the jury for a mistrial. So they don't want that. No, it's not. It's not. Okay, it's not. And it's not because the defense wanted to keep him. That tells you that the defense is probably more so on the side for Diddy than it is for the prosecution. Because trust and believe, if that had happened for the prosecution, that person was for the prosecution, oh yes, they would have been like, kick that jury out. We need a mistrial. And no, they're not saying none of that. They said, keep him on. We're good. Let him stay. Because it is probably best for them to keep that juror on the thing. Now, what that does raise questions as to if it does come, the final verdict is a hung jury, or meaning that it was an even split. 50 of them thought he was innocent, 50 thought he was guilty, and they can do it on an appeal so they can retry him and everything for what had happened. So they're trying to basically nip it in the bud so it don't get that point. So no, the defense is definitely not going to call for a mistrial. Prosecution definitely ain't going to call for no mistrial, because they don't want to lose their ground. What a lot of people don't realize with a mistrial, if a mistrial happens, what that means is they will have to release P. Diddy. He will have to release. Unlike what a lot of these YouTubers are saying, that is not how the law works. If he is found guilty, if he is found that there is a mistrial, then they don't have anything on him. That means he's sat in a jail for almost a year for something that they could not even first prove, right? They're going to have to redo everything. They're going to have to give reissue charges out for him, because the ones you got don't stick, because those charges are thrown out, right? Mistrial, everything goes away. All testimonies goes away, all charges goes away, and everything. They have to release this man. Now what they could do is do an emergency rearrest, get another warrant, emergency warrant for his rearrest, right? And sometimes they could get that to where they let you out, but an officer sitting outside and they rearrest you and put you back in. All right. But if they cannot do that because of this dream team attorney attorney team that he has invested, and y'all make no bones about this. His team is a probably $1 billion team. Okay, he got a strong team on his side, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna take advantage of everything that they have under their power if they are able to get a mistrial. Not only are they going to have to let him go, they're going to request they change the venue. It's called a change of venue because now it's going to be too many people knows what's going on in this area. He's from this area. He's not going to get a fair trial because of the mistrial. So they're going to ask for a change of venue. The only two places that can hear this case because the crimes were committed in that state is Florida and Los Angeles. Those are the only two states that can hear the case outside of New York because those were the three places that these crimes were taking place in. Florida, Los Angeles, and New York. New York was the one who got it because he's from New York. A lot of stuff happened from New York and everything. But if they mistrial it, all bets off with New York. New York is probably not going to be the state that can hear this case. They're going to have to get the charges in a different state, whether it be Florida, whether it be Los Angeles. That's why it's going to be so hard for them to rearrest him because they're not going to be able to rearrest him in New York. They will have to arrest him, send for his arrest via Florida and Los Angeles. By that time, this man who has all this power and all this money, guess what he gonna do? Just as other compadres in the celebrity world, he's going to skip town. He's getting out of here. They're gonna have to bring his behind back. Then on top of that, you're gonna have to get every witness that you gave. Immunities are off at this point. There's no more immunity for anybody. That means everybody testimony got struck. That means everybody that the prosecution uncalled, they're going to have to recall. Now, this is the part I say probably be good for the prosecution because now you know the story. Everybody kind of know what's going on, which is a bad thing because you know how to attack the other person because you know how to come in, right? But the good side for the prosecution is you don't have to give out so many immunities like y'all did. Like these immunities that y'all was saying, you get it, you get immunity. Some of these people needed to do the same damn jail time that he did. They don't need immunity. Okay, that's why you're not going to find a person to get on that stand and lie because it will not benefit them to lie. If they lie, they're facing jail time. They are protected as long as they don't lie on the stand. It's called perjury. As long as they don't lie on that stand. So if a mistrial happens, you got to get all these witnesses to now that they're going to now tell the story all over again. Go through all this humiliating stuff all over again. Get dragged not only from New York to possibly Los Angeles or either Florida. The worst place for them to have a retrial is Florida. On top of that, the feds going to have to invest all the money that they put into all these rape. Everything that they got is now going to be, they're going to have to resubmit all evidence back. So the likelihood of if they get a mistrial for them taking it back to trial is almost slim to none. All right, he will get away with it on a technicality. That's why they're pushing so hard a mistrial because they know if any one of these mistrial attempts happen, it's a wrap. They're not going to do this. They're not going back through all this. They're going to let him go. They're going to let him go. And a lot of those crimes that he's been committed, that he has committed, the statute of limitation has expired. They can't go back after him for it. The only reason they can go after for him now of them is because of RICO. If they can tie it up on the RICO charge does not have the same statute of limitations as a regular crime separate away from RICO. Okay? So that's why they're going up under the RICO charge. That's why they're pushing up under the RICO charge because a lot of the stuff he did, they can't charge him legally for it no more. Statute of limitations says over. You're done. So they're not charging him as the person. They charging him as the mastermind of the big organization up under RICO. That's why they're doing it. Now, that being said, if you do get a mistrial because of Jane's testimony of her now claiming that she's a victim, they kind of got, if a mistrial happened, they have to sell her as a victim because that means he's still doing it as last year. So that means they can't get it for Cassie. They can't get it for Kid Cudi blowing up his car. They can't get it for anything like that. But guess who they can get it for? Oh, Jane, for having her do free calls, for transporting her. Now, that probably ain't going to fall up under RICO because RICO, you need 10 years of it. Okay, so he couldn't get up under RICO, but they can charge him criminally on the criminal side not for Rico, not for the organization, but for him, which will still give him jail time. That's why I keep telling y'all, even if it doesn't go over mistrial, even if they find him guilty, but they find him guilty of Rico, the judge still has the last say. The judge can put those charges so tight on him that he still got Rico time, even outside of the Rico charges. All that judge need is for them to say he's guilty of something. Once they say that, the judge can now compile up consecutive sentences to make it to be a lifetime. So regardless of how you get to the lifetime still can happen. This is why it is so important for the defense to get the mistrial. The defense already know they cannot win this case on their own. They already know it because he did what they said he did. All right. That's why I said they already done proved Rico, and really the prosecution don't need to go any further with this. They proved their case. They got him on RICO charges. They don't even need James Doe testimony. They need Cassie testimony. You only need one victim that spanned it out for a course of 10 years. You just need two crimes. So there is ex trafficking, there is transportation of a prostitute, there is bribery. Those are the charges. It's like 10, 15 charges they already done proved. So the RICO is already done. Now, the defense thing is this is the only game plan that they have, other than the one I probably suggested, is to get a mistrial. They know they're not going to win by whatever. That's why I'm telling you, they are telling Diddy to shut up, do not take that stand, but do not answer absolutely anything because the burden of proof is not on you. Okay, you're going to do, this is I'm telling you. You're gonna do some time. You're gonna do some time regardless. Go ahead and just accept the whatever time that you're gonna give you, and let's pray to God we can knock it down so you don't get as much time. But you're going to do some time. But see, here's the thing: he is so cocky. He thinks he can talk his way out of anything. They can't control whether or not this man stands up and say something because what's going to happen is the judge is going to turn to him after they get up. Right before they go into deliberation to give their verdict and everything, the judge is going to ask after no, not after, before the closing statement of the prosecution and the defense, the judge is going to turn to P Diddy. He's going to say, is there anything, Mr. Combs, that you would like to say on your behalf? Would you like to take the stand and speak? Now, his attorney could be hitting him saying, don't do it, don't do it. But it ultimately has to come out of Diddy's mouth to say, I do not wish to say anything, Your Honor. The moment that man say he want to talk, he is getting on the stand. He is going to say what he has to say. And then after he talks, the prosecution is going to light his ass up. Okay? They are going to light him up and get everything solidified for real. The nails will finally be in the coffin. Then after that happens, the prosecution will give their closing statement. They will sell that to the jury. Because all you gotta do is tell a story. When people tell y'all the key to anything is telling a story, the key to YouTube is how you present the story. The key to a trial is how you present that story in the end. The evidence is what the facts is what everybody going on, but it's that closing statement. Remember A Time to Kill? When that attorney took that stand and he made all them people feel like that was their daughter that had got RAPE by them white people, and that's why this man went to the extent that he did. It's the closing statements that sends it home. This is what this trial is to come down to. If P. Diddy don't say nothing. If he say something, it's a wrap. He done. He is absolutely done. It's over and done with. He going to jail. He going to jail for life. Everybody else finna get down fat. You finna go back up. Everything gonna keep going. If he doesn't stand and talk, it's going to come down to the closing statement. No, they are not. They are not near the closing statements. Next week, they said the prosecution said they probably will be closing their case as of next Friday. The earliest being maybe Wednesday, but they're probably going to close their case on next Friday. Then it's the defense time. The defense is going to bring witnesses up. They're going to try to go against everything that was brought in. They're gonna bring character witnesses for P Diddy, but that's all they can bring in, character witnesses. Because if anybody say they was anywhere near any of this stuff, they're going down too. Okay, so that's not gonna happen. So what they're gonna do is bring in character witnesses for him to say he's not this and he's not that. But here's the thing, y'all. Y'all don't know what people are. You only thing you can say is what someone would do because you know they did it. You don't know what nobody's gonna say and do. Yeah, I can't. I got 5 kids. I can't tell you what my kids won't do. I can tell you what they won't. I can tell you what they done did. I can't tell you what they won't do. I can tell you what I instilled in them not to do. But I can't say my kids ain't gonna do something. Okay. No, you can't even tell yourself what you not gonna do until you're placed into that position. Okay. So how can a care witness help you at this point? Because unless they was in that room with you and they witness what was actually going down, they can't speak for you, right? But they're gonna present that case, however they can present that case, just to put the illusion in their minds. Because they have to do is cause 1 or 2 jurors to doubt he is not guilty. That's all. That's all they need to do. They need to convince 1 or 2 jurors. That's why that juror is so important, whether or not they're gonna put that juror out or not. Because if he already his mind made up, he's guilty, he's innocent, it's not going to help the case. Okay, so you gotta understand how the law works in order to see what's really going on. And unfortunately, a lot of people that are making, although they a lot of people do have people talking to them and stuff, a lot of them they're not really informed on how the law works. Okay, so if they don't know how it works, if they never been in a situation to speak on it, or they didn't go to school on it, or they don't know all the technicalities of it, then they won't be aware on how it all goes down. Okay, so people might love you, people might think you hype it up, people talk with you or whatever, but until you know the law, you know how the law works, it's not going to connect as to what's going on. I mean, this case really is so crazy that even lawyers, that's why a lot of my information, I cross it with actual lawyers, y'all. Lawyers that are working on stuff, they have worked on high profile cases. Like since I said I wanted to go there, but I'm glad didn't actually get to go, because this allows me to see it a little bit better on what's going on versus what I think I'm seeing or what I know I'm seeing. I can literally reference it with actual lawyers. Okay, so I'm watching lawyers that have did stuff like that, and even them, they are saying, they're confused. They don't know what's gonna happen with this. So it's not so cut dry. But the formats of it all still have to play out the way it has to play out. It has to. Okay? They still have to go through the technicalities. And I'm telling you, the defense have nothing to go. They don't have anything. They know they cannot win this case on facts alone. Because the facts show he's guilty as crap. I mean, that's what the facts show. So they have to create an illusion in those jury's minds. The court of public opinion, that's one thing. But what the court of public opinion will show you is kind of what will happen with the jury. Because you got to think about it. We'll be talking about, like, oh, these are not his peers. These are people who are younger than him or whatever, or way older than him. It doesn't matter about their age. It just matters that they're people of society. Understand what is actually happening, what is actually going on. Hold on, real quick. Let me. I got a call that came through. Hold up. Yeah, sorry about it, y'all. Um, yeah, sorry about that. So it's actual. I had to put my thing on do not disturb because call coming in and it be interfering with my services and everything. I'm doing this. I've got to put it on there, so I had to stop and do that. But you got attorneys who have been doing this for 20, 30 years that are split. And so what you need to look at is the court of public opinion matters for what really is happening within the jury itself. There's 12 people on that jury. And if the court of public opinion is split straight down the middle, 9 out of 10, the jury is split straight down the middle too. And we don't want that to happen. So that's why a lot of this stuff that's being leaked out, like when I did that report and when I did that video about the not transcript, about the second mistrial being filed on a Saturday, who y'all think leaked that miss out? Come on now. That's why they're trying so hard to get this information out for P. Diddy, because they're trying to sway the court of public opinion. They're trying to make everybody think, have that split thing, mentality. So that way, if in fact this thing does get into a mistrial, it will be darn near impossible. I'm telling y'all, it will be darn near impossible to retry this man. It ain't gonna happen. Now they might try him for Jane Doe. Now that might happen if she's willing, but it won't be on a federal. It won't be on a federal level at that point. It'll be on just a regular state level. And that's if she wants to go against him. But 9 out of 10, with him paying her rent, her attorney fees, that ain't happening. That crap ain't happening. All right. So that's why I keep saying, like, we better pray to God they don't find a loophole somewhere to get that mistrial, because a mistrial is really their Hail Mary. A mistrial is what they're really banking on. It really is, in order to win this case, because the facts, the evidence, and all this compounding stuff, including Jane, though she a little, that woman, she is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over Puffy. You hear me? That woman, ugh, she ain't got them all. I'm sorry, she does not have them all at all. She is stupid. I'm just gonna put it out there. She is just straight up stupid. But she loves that man. You hear me? She loves that man. And 50 probably thinking the best thing that came out of this is my baby. It's his son, because she ain't it, y'all. She ain't. That girl is crazy. Um, and a personal opinion, she's there for the defense. She's there to crack holes in the prosecution's case. She she's another side of them trying to win the court of public opinion for Diddy. That's all she is. All that freaky stuff done blew their minds right. Girl, I don't think it's the freaky stuff of hers. I just think she's stupid. And I'm just gonna be real honest with you. I just think she's dumb. She's the type of woman. Let's take the money and all that stuff out of the picture. Let's act like he a regular man. She's just a woman that wants a man, and she got a man that want to give her what she wants to give her. So if Puff Daddy was broke and he was giving her what she wanted, she's gonna stand by her man. She's just stupid. I mean, that's all she is. She's just dumb at a higher level. That's all that is. Ugh. And P Diddy ain't no fool. He might not be cute. He might be evil, but he a smart behind man. He know how to play the game. He know how to use his money to benefit him. He know who he needs in his corner, and he knows who he doesn't. And that darn KK baby, they coming after her. They don't want her testimony at this point. They want her to do time just like him. Um, and to think, just when you thought R. Kelly was a freak, I care. Lawyers are asking Donald Trump. That's never gonna happen, Nikki. Donald Trump is not gonna pardon that man. Donald Trump, our president, your president, not ours. Your president. I don't even know if he's yours. Trump, he ain't got the time for all that. He ain't got the time to be pardoning no Trump. I mean pardoning no Diddy. He got to worry about Elon Musk and everything else going on around the world where he's using our military force against us. Which is crazy. How does Tyrone feel about that? I'm curious. How does Tyrone feel about him deploying those soldiers out to LA? And from what I hear, they even talking about possibly sending them to Chicago. And our stupid by Governor DeSantis, they need to hurry up and get that fool up out of here. Some of the cities in Florida are actually going into daycares. They are going into church. They're going into churches. They're going into places where people who contributed to society and paid their taxes, trying to unlawfully arrest these people. But it was one sheriff. He said he ain't doing it. A black sheriff. I said, thank you, sir. Thank you for standing on morals. He said he ain't doing it. He don't give a darn who tell him to do it. He ain't doing it. He is not arresting people who have been paying their taxes, who have been living the life that they want to, who are considered by all statutes American citizens, and arresting innocent people. If they're criminals, sure, he'll get them. But if they're not criminals, they get it. He ain't doing it on his watch. Mr. Tyrone don't talk about the military no more. Girl, I thought Mr. Tyrone was like my daddy. He did 26 years too, but he still loved the military. You hear me? It's embedded in him. I thought Mr. Tyrone would have been the same way. But that's good. Um, oh, he became a police officer. Well, hey, that's the next best thing. You hear me? He's a cop. All right, officer. I don't say his last name, but Officer Tyrone. All right. Congratulations. Girl. No, congratulations to him because I know how I know how in depth he was as far as the military. So that's the next best thing for him. Me myself personally, I love law and stuff like that, but the cop side of it, like I had got approached by um what was she? She was a sergeant or something. She was coming trying to recruit people in Florida, and I had picked her up from the air one time, and we had a conversation about law. And she was like, "Man, you got a good eye. You ever thought about the police officer?" I was like, "Man, no." That's the one thing I will not. That's where I draw the line when it comes to law. I respect them because just like the military with the army, how they are the first line of defense. They're the first line of defense. I mean, they're out there. They're out there. They can take a bullet. The first ones to go down. You hear about them losing their life. No, that's just not me. Not at all. um, production. What am I talking about? I'm talking about. We talk about a lot of things, but right now I'm talking to my very close friend, Miss Nikki, and she was telling me her husband just became a police officer. All right, Mr. Tyrone. Um, yeah, but yeah, I got a lot of family. I have a lot of police officers in my family as well. A lot of police officers, correction officers, and everything else. That's why I say I love law. Law is that's part of our family. It's law and military and truck drivers. That's kind of what most of our family is made out of. Um, yeah, that's cool. Yes, Lordy. But girl, I know it's gonna be nerve wracking, but he's gonna make a heck of a cop. You hear me? Or detective. What is he actually? What side is he going on? Does he want to be out there on the streets? Do he want to be more the detective side? What is he doing? But we know Tyrone, he got the good Lord on his side. Yes, he does. So he got that extra shield of protection. We ain't even first worried about that. Oh, y'all, but yeah. We was let me see how you say your name. Art Arbutus Street Production. Yeah, we were talking about the P. Diddy case, and I was breaking it down for everybody how it actually worked. Out here in these Houston, you in Houston? Oh my goodness, that's where Clown's TV is. Trey. He stay in Houston. Oh my God. Now I'm really gonna have to come visit now. I didn't know you was in Houston. And Kadisha and her husband was up there for her birthday. Oh wow! So I don't know how I'm gonna have it out there because I'm like I told y'all in this live. I don't got that fear of flying is back in my head now, child. I don't know about getting on no plane again after all this stuff. Uh, y'all been there for 2 years. Bought a house out there, or y'all still trying to figure out if y'all gonna make that y'all home? Well, he's an officer now, so y'all gonna make that y'all final place. Oh wow! Now I got two reasons. Oh, how Silas? Has she went off to school yet? How's she doing? 'Cause, well when I was on Facebook. I hadn't been on Facebook in a couple of months. I was watching the twins your daughter's with her business at one point, but I hadn't been on there for a while. Oh man. Man, small world. I bet Kanisha didn't know y'all was out there. I got to tell you that y'all stayed out there. Tyler is in South Carolina. She got us. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I keep her in my prayers, honey. She went back home. Mm, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, y'all, I'm gonna have to go ahead and end it live on my phone, but it died and I can't reach. Hold on, let me see. Does it? I'm about to say it's not gonna reach, but let's see. It might. But whenever I plug this phone up on my there you go. I just can't be moving around easily. Whenever I plug this phone up on my computer, it always be in and out, so I don't really be charging. She went back to South Carolina with her dad, or she just went there on her own. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that though. Um, yeah, girl, you know we live and we learn. We she got we as parents just got to be there for for our children, but we live and we learn. Oh man, I hate that for her. Yeah, all my kids they in Florida. We all together now. Well, except for Misha. Misha's here in Maryland, and that's why I'm here. But we'll soon be heading back home. Probably I don't know. I guess another couple of months. You know how the military be, child. I'm not really sure. Oh my God. Mm. How the grandkids? How Rose doing? With her pretty self. Oh man. Well, Mr. Tyrone, those them girls are his babies. You hear me? He'll do anything for his girls. His sons too, but before the little ones had came, those was his babies. He about to turn 11. My grandson is 5. Oh, like, I'm gonna have to go through Facebook and look at the updates because I was off. I hadn't been, girl. Nobody could reach me on Facebook. I was dealing with storage on my phone. I had to go to Alabama with my brother because he had a real bad burn accident. So originally, that's where I was until can't really go into much debt. But I wish I could talk to you, but I can't go into much debt here. But we got something going on here with the military, and I had to get down here with Misha. So and hopefully all this stuff get resolved. But I'm actually in Maryland with her at Fort Deidre. Mm-hmm. Ooh, child. But anyway, I had to take Facebook off my phone for storage. I get my kids keep telling me, Mama, you need to get rid of that phone and get you a better phone. But hey, it's still working, right? But I had uninstalled Facebook off my phone, so I wasn't able to stay in contact with everybody on Facebook. So for the ones that didn't know I had none left, the only connection I had was either here on YouTube with the people from YouTube or and my kids. That's it. My kids and my family. Because I wasn't able to really connect with nobody as far as Facebook and stuff. I had even deleted Instagram at one point trying to save storage on my phone, but I was able to reinstall the Instagram and Facebook. I actually just reinstalled Facebook last week, this week, earlier this week or something like that. They're gonna say this lady came on here and stopped her from talking about PD. No, girl. The people that know me. They know I address everybody in my audience, but girl, I know you. You fam. So you was my rock, girl. You was my rock when I was going through what I was going through with my crazy behind X. You hear me? And he ain't changed one little bit. You hear me? Um, so for those that don't, Miss Nikki, husband and my husband, they were stationed on the same base, and that's where we met. And we had became really close. My kids loved her. They looked at her like a mom figure, and her kids loved me. And boy, if it wasn't for her, I'm telling you, I would have been lost. I would have been lost, lost. Her and Mr. Tyrone. But no. If y'all are in this chat, please hit that like button for me. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so y'all can stay connected to me. Nah, girl, but they know anybody that really know me know I love talking to people, but you know I'm gonna love talking to you because I know. Uh, uh, oh, but yeah, girl, I myself had to take a break from talking about them mess. I was doing my website, but I still had to take a break from talking about people. It's so much. It's so much. Like, how can one man do all this stuff? Well, that's the thing. He didn't do it by himself. But still, mentally, how can one person do all this, man? I don't know if my phone is charged because I keep getting alerts. Y'all, I'm gonna have to end this when my phone can fully charge because I think I let it got so. But anyway, so where is the story going with the mysterious girl coming out saying she is P Diddy and Cassie? Girl, now you don't you see the look on my face. I'm gonna have to look this up, Nikki. What in the world? Where is this story going with the mysterious girl coming out saying she is P Diddy's and Cassie's daughter? Girl, I ain't see that one. I mean, how old could she be? Cassie ain't really that old her darn self. With a daughter coming out and saying this, that girl that might be fake. Cause she got with him when she was what 19, about to be 20, and this is they didn't show her face, but she has to be old enough to be talking. Right, right. Well, she definitely got to be old enough to be talking. But I mean, really though, how old can she really be? Cause what Cassidy, she is in her 30s, right? If she met Diddy when she was 20, that would only really give her like 10 years. So what is a little girl around here making interviews? Or somebody done made up some mess? Because where her mama at, I mean, is the mama talking saying this is well, the mama is I guess her adopted parents, Diddy and Cassie is her mama. Yeah. Girl, but that's weird. I really did not get into the story. She said she was giving up for adoption. Yeah, that's why I was rechecking what I was saying. Um, girl, I'm gonna have to look into that. Oh Lord. Because it would seem like her adopted parents would want to keep, even if that was true, they would want to shelter her from this mess. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for those kids that he got, especially though. That is the only one I feel bad for, and I'm talking about the little babies. I ain't talking about. I'm talking about from the girls on down, from the twins on down. Because the other ones, mm-mm, no, especially that oldest son. Especially that oldest son. He he's I mean they got cases against him allegedly doing the same thing on a woman like mm, apple don't fall too far from the tree. You know the old saying. Those boys are like him. Right. Well, I don't know if the little Justin. I don't know if he is, but the oldest one, yes, yes. And the other one ain't really his. That's Albie Sure son. He just stayed with his mama before she died and just took the bond with P Diddy. But that's not his son. That's Albie Sure son. He looked just like his daddy, just a younger version of him. Ooh, girl. Did you think our generation will be in the middle of a trial like this, witnessing all this mess? I never would have thought. Oh, never would have thought it. You hear me? Never would have thought it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and end this live. Thank y'all for being on here with me. I will do another live later on this afternoon once my phone gets charged up because this baby keep giving me alerts saying it is going down. You hear me? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, this is my natural. This is my natural right here. Uh, you get ready to go to sleep? I might come back on. I'm not gonna. Don't hold me to it because once I start working on my stuff, I probably ain't gonna. I can't make promises. I will definitely be back, but I definitely will be dropping off another video. Hopefully, I will be back on this live for everybody. Thank you so much, Budget. Thank you so much for coming on over here. and being part of the live. Thank you, Latanya. Thank you, Miss Nikki. Thank you, Simply. Thank y'all. Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Bradley. Thanks for the love and the support, y'all. And like I said, I will definitely keep y'all informed on what's going on. Y'all hear me? All right. So as always, be your brothers and your sisters keeper. Keep God first. And toodles, y'all. Thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, y'all.